You drove your childhood sweetheart while drunk, so I called the cops. Hayden, the young master says Hartley's tied up today. You should eat on your own. The Channing butler stepped in front of me, tone laced with impatience. I glanced at my phone. My last WhatsApp with Chase was a week ago. Hartley'd probably forgotten. Today is my birthday. My birthday is also our anniversary. 3 years ago Hartley'd chosen this day to confess. Hartley'd promised Hartley'd never forget the date, because every year my celebration would double as his reminder. I dialed him without hesitation. No surprise, Hartley didn't pick up. Once, twice, 3 times. On God knows which try Hartley finally answered. A weary sigh crackled down the line. Hayden, why are you being childish? I didn't pick up because I'm swamped. Behind him bass thundered, girls shrieked, glasses clinked. I smiled thinly. Swamped? At a bar? Ever since summer landed you can't even remember your own last name. Hayden, don't talk like that. She just got back, she's still adjusting. She's like a little sister to me. His voice was as smooth as ever, only the tenderness wasn't for me. Summer had returned 7 days earlier. All week Chase had told me Hartley was crazy busy. 10 days ago we'd agreed to celebrate my birthday and our anniversary together. We hadn't seen each other since. A WhatsApp ping, Tatum had spammed me with photos. In every frame Chase's arm hooked around Summer's waist, their smiles dazzling, heads tilted together like lovers. Any stranger would call them a match made in heaven. Too bad Hartley was still my boyfriend. I lowered my gaze, heart clenched in a fist. The gourmet spread on the table turned my stomach. I felt like vomiting. The butler had overheard the call. Hartley stepped closer, sneering. Hayden, shall I reheat the dishes? None of the Channings approved of me. They were convinced I was after their money. Old money in this city, and Victoria especially despised a provincial nobo. DY dating her son. She believed Chase deserved better. His only defense had been, Hayden, ignore her, mom's bark is worse than her bite. Because of Victoria, the entire household felt free to treat me like dirt. The butler's comment was the last straw. I flipped the table. Porcelain exploded across the marble. I bared a cool smile. No need. Ignoring his stunned gape, I stood. Around Chase I'd usually played the soft girlfriend. I rarely lost my temper. Hartley claimed to love gentle girls, so I'd filed my edges away. Not anymore. The butler finally spluttered, Hayden. Victoria chose that moment to click-clack home in stilettos. She took one look at me and scowled. What are you doing here? I said nothing. Her gaze landed on the wreckage. Butler, what happened? When she learned I'd caused it, her face twisted. So the mask is off. Chase and Summer were made for each other. Stop deluding yourself. She'd always wanted Summer as a daughter-in-law. The West family was formidable. I nodded. Like mother, like son. You endorse cheating, no wonder your husband keeps mistresses. Victoria sputtered, you. Channing's paid girlfriends and grown illegitimate kids were an open secret, her rawest nerve. I'd never understood why she didn't divorce him, but that was her problem. Chase had betrayed me. I was done tolerating his clan. I spun on my heel, leaving Victoria mid-threat. Tell Chase if you want. I'm shaking. I walked out. Scared? Please. I'd already trashed the dog, I wouldn't cower before his leash. I returned to the apartment we rented together. We'd attended the same university, Chase 2 years ahead, and I'd just graduated. We'd lived together less than a month before this circus. A small mercy, at least we weren't married. Chase used to whisper, Hayden, I want us legit, above board. I'll wait as long as it takes. What girl wouldn't melt? Tonight's photos had shown me his other face. 2 years to see through a man, embarrassing. I began packing. The door swung open. Chase leaned on Summer. Thanks, Summer, Hartley slurred, reeking of bourbon. Summer cooed, we're home, Chase. Then she spotted me in the bedroom doorway, arms folded. Hayden, she chirped, sorry, Chase drank too much celebrating. Hartley didn't mean to forget. I'll make sure Hartley makes it up to you tomorrow. Chase sprawled on the sofa, half-conscious. Triumph glittered in Summer's eyes. Oh, I heard it's your birthday. She pouted. Hartley only remembered on the ride back. Tragic. I cut in. Spare me. From now on I don't need him to mark the calendar. Cheating is binary, 0 or infinity. Summer widened her eyes. You're not jealous? Chase and I are basically siblings. Could have fooled me, the way you cling. I clapped twice. So pure. Touching. Summer flushed. You're filthy-minded. I stared her down. Hartley's more at fault, but if you keep dancing in front of me, I might slap you anyway. Tears welled in record time. I was done watching the show. I tossed Chase's suitcase at his feet. Out. I paid the rent. Hartley cheated, Hartley could find a curb. Chase roused when the duffel smacked his chest. Hayden, what's your problem? Before Hartley could finish, I grabbed his collar, luggage and all, and shoved him into the hall. 10 years of boxing, Chase had no idea. Hartley thought soft girls were his type. Hartley stumbled, Summer squeaked and steadied him. Bang, I slammed the deadbolt. I could still hear her whining through the door. I deep cleaned until every trace of him vanished. After a shower I found my phone buzzing itself off the counter. Our group chat with Chase's friends had hit 99 plus. Screenshots surfaced, Summer's Instagram story. Drove Chase home. His girlfriend freaked. Swear we're just siblings. She locked him out. Attached, a grainy shot of my door. I didn't follow her, but someone had reposted and it tagged me. Cue the peanut gallery. Hayden, dramatic much? We grew up together. She's not like that, open your mind. With that attitude you'll never survive this crowd. Apologize to Summer. An admin had added her, she typed delicately, don't blame her. It's a misunderstanding. The chorus defended Saint Summer. Too chicken to speak up? Low class. She's obviously a better fit for Chase. Most of them fed off Channing contracts, of course they barked on command. Of course they'd take Chase's side. Still, everyone ought to have a bottom line and a conscience. Tonight's party for Chase and Summer, plenty of them were there. They know better than I do exactly what those two did. If you keep quiet to protect your family's business, I can understand. But when the cheating is this blatant and you still can't tell right from wrong, you're just disgusting. I had Ed the loudest lapdog in the group chat. I hope your boyfriend collects a few little sisters too. You might get off on wearing green, I don't. The chat went dead for 3 full minutes after I hit send. Probably stunned speechless. In their heads I've always orbited Chase. I speak softly, laugh everything off, even when they edge me out. Some of them have said I've got a pretty good temper. So when the good-tempered girl talks like that, it's jarring. They thought I'd sweep it under the rug like always. Wrong. I've broken up with Chase, I'm done swallowing insults. Someone finally couldn't help typing, that's Hayden, right? Account hacked? Or just so mad she lost it? I thought about Summer's talent for turning black into white. I pixelated the photos of them just enough and blasted them across Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere I had an account. The guy is my boyfriend. The girl is his sister with 0 shared DNA. They claim they're innocent, do you buy it? Then I turned my phone off. I glanced downstairs. Chase and I rent a creaky walk-up in the university. Parking spots line the curb right below. His car isn't there. I remember Hartley didn't drive this morning, which means when I kicked them out they took the car anyway. I replayed it in my head. Chase was trashed, obviously, and Summer reeked of booze too. I dialed the police. Hi, I'd like to report a DUI. The officer took it seriously. DUIs are drilled into everyone, yet people still gamble with other people's lives. Hartley logged the plate number I gave him. Thank you for the tip. If it checks out, there's a $300 reward. I was almost cheerful. Happy to help, citizen duty. I powered the phone down and went to sleep. I didn't open my eyes again until 11 the next morning. Yawn, power on, notifications vibrated like jackhammers. I clicked through. First, my Instagram. Yesterday's post had detonated, sympathy, ridicule, outright curses. I deleted and blocked every troll. Then Twitter and TikTok, bless the internet, most people had eyes. Girl, his sister is in his lap, if that's not cheating, what is? Look at those eyes, if they're not banging, I'll eat my phone. Wait, isn't that our student body president, Chase? My feeds turned into an all-you-can-eat drama buffet. Alumni chimed in with what they knew. Chase and I had been campus famous, our breakup was public knowledge. Pres Chase always seemed squeaky clean, guess not. Everyone stayed semi-anonymous, using initials, but within hours they'd doxed his resume. A few of Chase's loyal dogs tried damage control. The internet swatted them down like gnats. Then someone dug up who the White Knights really were. The snowball kept rolling until word got out, Chase is the heir to Channing. A couple of meme pages reposted the T and, bam, trending hashtag. Bonus points. Channing will probably pay to bury the tag soon enough. My phone rang. Tatum flashed on the screen, my ride or die since kindergarten. I picked up. Hayden, you magnificent savage. Only you could make a breakup go viral. I yawned again. Thanks for the pics. When'd you land? Flew in 2 nights ago. Spotted your boy at the club and started snapping. Those incriminating shots of Chase had come courtesy of Tatum. Good eye. Otherwise I'd still be clueless about his double life and brand new sister. Yesterday was your birthday. Sending you that stuff, are you mad? Yep, furious. Sorry. I burst out laughing. I'm mad at the idiot, not at you. Why are you apologizing? Tatum snickered. That's my Hayden, generous to a fault. She's 6 months younger. I used to make her call me Big Sis. She stopped sometime around middle school, so hearing it again felt nostalgic. The last shard of breakup gloom melted away. I decided to take her to brunch as a thank you when an unknown number buzzed through. I answered on a hunch. Chase sounded hollowed out exhausted. Hayden, where are you? Can you come to the station? I arched a brow. Had to be the DUI bust. A front row seat? Count me in. I agreed. At the precinct it turned out Chase wasn't merely DUI, Hartley was aggravated DUI. After I kicked them out last night, Hartley driven Summer straight to a hotel. Street cameras clocked him behind the wheel. Cops knocked on the room door at dawn and breathalyzed him. They'd also towed the car. License gone, possible 2-week lockup. Hartley needed a family member to sign releases. Hartley didn't want mommy dearest to know, so his first call was to me. His battery was dead. Hartley was borrowing the duty officer's phone. Chase. Summer's voice drifted from behind me. Pity she wasn't cuffed too. She looked pitiful. Hayden. I cut her off. We're not related, don't sister me, it's nauseating. Her eyes went watery. Chase frowned. Hayden, why are you being like this? She's just a little sister to me. You misread everything. I shrugged. Call her your goldfish for all I care. I'm here to say it officially, we're done. Hartley bristled. Stop being childish. Sign the papers and we can talk outside. I'd already gotten the officer's rundown. Chase drove Summer to the hotel, cameras verified, booze level off the charts, slept it off till morning. Summer couldn't sign because she'd been in the car, they needed next of kin. Hence my invitation. I smiled sweetly. Fun fact, I'm the one who reported your DUI. Summer gasped. You did this? Disbelief flooded his face. Why, Hayden? Aren't you afraid of upsetting my mom? Hartley still thought I'd crawl for their approval, like back when marriage was on the table. I raised an eyebrow. We're broken up. Why would I care about Victoria? Speaking of your mom, return Everett's painting I gave her. Today. That canvas is a 9-figure masterwork, money can't touch it. Chase scowled. Gifts don't get returned. Ice crept into my voice. Refuse and you'll see how unpleasant I can be. You promised we'd marry, so I let your mom use the painting to butter up your grandma. Engagement's off, therefore the painting comes home. It had smoothed the family war. Grandma loved it, Dad's mistress lost leverage. Victoria finally breathed. No more free rides. I spelled it out. Tell Victoria the painting is on my desk by 5, or wait for the storm. Summer whimpered. You're heartless. I ignored them, walked to the front desk, and claimed my $300 reward. The officer counted the cash into my palm. Appreciate the civic help. Officer, could I view yesterday's body cam footage? Hartley hesitated. Regulations, I jumped in. My ex cheated and owes me property. The recording shows him with his affair partner. If Hartley won't return the painting, I'll need that footage as evidence. Hartley nodded. In that case you can formally request a copy for civil recovery. Perfect. Now the police archives hold proof of Chase's cheating, no twisting the narrative anymore. I glanced at the time, my meetup with Tatum was almost here. I hailed a ride straight to the restaurant. Tatum was already there. 3 years without seeing her, and she was even prettier than before. She stood up, studying my face. You didn't cry? I sat down. Crying over a cheater? Not worth it. You haven't ordered? Tatum slid the menu over. Am I in awe of your headspace? How can you eat right now? I flipped through the pages. That's a weird thing to say. I wasn't the one who cheated, so why shouldn't I eat? Tatum, you're not heartbroken. I looked up. 2 years together, of course it hurts, but the second I picture myself crying over a guy like that, I feel sick. So I reset my mindset pretty fast. Everyone has a line. Chase crossed mine. I realized Hartley wasn't worth it. Letting myself ache for him would only hurt me. I ordered 4 dishes in one go. I hadn't eaten since yesterday. I was actually starving. As I popped the last piece of shrimp into my mouth, Tatum, expression grave, handed me her phone. I took it and scanned the headline. Sure enough, the internet was exploding again. Channing had issued an official denial, and Chase's mom had even posted that Chase and I had never been a couple. A bunch of paid gossip accounts had started smearing me, claiming I'd merely been Chase's obsessed admirer who'd spun lies out of unrequited love. Some clueless commenters joined the pile-on. Tatum, Hayden, you. I gave the phone back. Tatum, I need one more favor. I logged into my own account and started replying. Chase and I dated, everyone knew it. I also posted the video of Chase asking me to be his girlfriend. One thing I'd always liked about him, Hartley loved ceremony. Hartley'd secretly filmed that moment, saying if we got married we could play it at our wedding. I even tagged Chase's mother. Channing, please return the Everett I gave you by 4 this afternoon. Exactly as I expected, once people saw me clap back, the tide turned. Girls telling the truth, her BF cheated, his company plus his fam are trashing her. She straight up gifted the Everett to the Channings. That piece is worth 10 mil, easy. More like 100, Everett's works are basically priceless relics. The Channings are disgusting. They strung her along with marriage talk so she'd hand over the painting. Then a comment, oh. And my post caught everyone's eye. The tone screamed Summer. Let me restate, Chase and I are like brother and sister. Hayden misunderstood. Hayden, I'm willing to apologize. Seeing Summer recycle the same line for the public was almost fascinating. If you play dumb long enough, you start believing it yourself. That script might fool Chase's lackeys, but did she think the entire internet would buy it? Sure enough, eagle-eyed users turned their fire on Summer. So we're calling the side chick sister now? Random guy and girl calling each other siblings, who do you think you're fooling? The tea is piping hot, and she still waltzed in here. Her comment was quickly pinned and ratioed by thousands. She deleted it in a panic, but the screenshots were already everywhere. Netizens traced her socials in minutes. They dug up her entire backstory, including the timeline when she studied abroad and Chase flew out to see her. She'd even posted their photos together on her feed. By the dates, Chase and I were already official. I munched popcorn while scrolling through the exposé. Then Summer dropped a cease and desist letter, proclaiming her and Chase's innocence, threatening to sue anyone who continued to spread rumors. I lowered my eyes. Do those letters even carry weight anymore? Strike the serpent at the head, if I didn't crush Summer and Chase, they'd keep dancing. I tagged both Summer and Chase. When Chase got his DUI yesterday, the police body cam recorded him. It shows you two in the same hotel room well past midnight. If that's not cheating, what is? Do you have to be naked and literally joined at the hips before it counts? The internet blew up the instant I hit send. Crude but accurate, still, wow, she went there. I live for this level of receipts. Chase drove drunk and shared a room with Summer, caught on police cam. You can't fake footage like that, lying to the cops gets you jailed. Within minutes, Chase dominated every hot search list. Everyone became a melon-chomping hamster in a field of gossip. The paid influencers who defended him were shredded in the comments. See? The masses have 2020's vision. That we're siblings nonsense doesn't fly outside their little bubble. Not long after my post, Chase called. I picked up. Chase, Hayden, what nonsense are you posting? Summer hasn't stopped crying. They're cyberbullying her. You need to clear this up. Stop being childish. We're still getting married. Apologize online first. Say sorry to my mom and to Summer. I snorted. Chase, did I give you the illusion you still matter? I haven't even sent you the therapy bill, and you dare demand an apology? Hartley sounded stunned. Hayden, you never used to be like this. I rolled my eyes. When you were my boyfriend, I treated you well. Now you're not. Why should I indulge you? Chase, quit throwing a tantrum. My mom's sick because of you. I'll forgive you for reporting my DUI, but you must retract these lies. Me, this call's being recorded, and it's going online. I hung up before Hartley could answer, then posted the entire conversation. The crowd couldn't believe the drama had bonus episodes. After hearing the recording, Chase was roasted even harder. Hartley, Summer, Victoria, and Channing all disabled comments. Other Channing messengers kept calling me. I recorded every one and uploaded them. Eventually the calls stopped. I opened my livestream app. This is Hayden. At 4 I'm heading to Chase's mom to get my painting back. As expected, my room jumped from a few dozen to a few million viewers within minutes. Everyone gathered to watch me reclaim the canvas. Most were pessimistic. They spammed advice in the chat. The Channings are too powerful, I wouldn't stand a chance. Some legal buffs explained that gifts generally can't be revoked. I drove to the Channing estate. Security at the gate had clearly been warned, I wasn't getting in. That's when Tatum sprinted over with the props I'd asked for, a banner reading "Return the painting or face karma," a megaphone, and about 20 day laborers I'd hired outside the Home Depot. I raised the megaphone to my lips and spoke to the livestream. I don't want to disturb anyone, I only want justice. Chase said, we're basically married, so let's call the painting your dowry and let mom hang it for now. I admit I was too trusting. but Hartley cheated, so I have every right to take it back. Kind viewers, please bear witness. Millions filled the chat, gifts rained so fast the screen blurred. I turned to the crew of uncles. Uncles, just repeat after me, okay? We stop when the Channings come out. They all nodded. I shouted into the megaphone, they took the painting, the uncles boomed back, now they face karma. The chat exploded with 666. Soon locals who'd spotted the stream wandered over to gawk. The crowd kept swelling, the scene growing rowdier. Then the police arrived, obviously called by the Channings. After hearing the story, one officer said, "Ma'am, this is disturbing the peace." I nodded. "I'm sorry." My contrite attitude plus the obvious sympathy on their faces helped. "You're free to pursue this through legal channels," they advised. I remembered a park nearby. "If we move there, we won't be disturbing residents, right?" "Officer, park grounds are fine." So I marched the whole troop to the park. Today wasn't scorching, late afternoon shade felt pleasant. Tatum explained our mission to curious passers-by. Many of the elderly, hearing my tale, grew indignant. Everyone has kids. If theirs were scammed like this, they'd be furious too. The square dance aunties even offered us their pavilion, led by their captain. They even helped us hold formation and chant slogans. We split into 3 groups, 10 minutes per group. The next group would take over and keep shouting. The whole scene felt surreal and electric. Keep the painting, break your moral code. I used the tips viewers sent me to buy drinks, water, and fruit. For everyone. Some people even wanted to perform. I ended up half hosting the show. After each act they'd look into the camera and say, "Keep the painting, break your moral code." My livestream instantly became the hottest feed on the platform. I opened Weibo. Between this morning's trending hashtag and my showing up in person, the top headlines were firmly locked on the Channing mess. I had zero intention of letting that heat slip away. As dusk started to fall I told the stream, "If Auntie Channing still won't return the painting, I'll be back tomorrow." I believe justice lives in people's hearts. The Channings are Eastbrook royalty. I refused to believe they could sit still. Viewers in the chat started debating. After a breakup you give back anything priceless, end of story. But opposition voices popped up too. Once you give a gift, can you really demand it back? Clearly the Channings had hired trolls. Reading those talking points, I dropped my chat history with Chase again. Back then Chase found out I had an Everett as part of my dowry. Hartley asked if the painting could temporarily hang at his mom's place. After all, we were getting married someday, and it would eventually go to our kids. Nowhere in those messages did I offer the piece as a gift. According to the chat log, Chase was only borrowing it. I sure as hell am not marrying him now, so Hartley has to give it back. That leak pushed the Channings straight into the eye of the storm. Thousands started calling them shameless. I couldn't agree more. Truly shameless, borrowing something and refusing to return it. I'd only handed it over because Chase's mom was cornered, his dad wanted to install the mistress, and Grandma Channing seemed on board. I figured we'd be family, so I let them use it. Overnight the internet kept chewing on the story. The next morning Victoria cracked and called, promising to return the painting. I went with Tatum. To honor the netizens who'd backed me, I kept the livestream rolling. We met in a hotel lobby. Victoria, gray-faced, thrust the canvas at me. That morning I'd checked the Channing ticker, down 10%, enough to bruise even her. Probably Grandma Channing read her the riot act. I unwrapped the painting on the spot. One look and I stared at Victoria, blank. The piece was fake. This was not the canvas I'd given her. She frowned. "This is exactly what you handed over. Maybe you tried to con us with a counterfeit from the start. How calculating, you planned this scam." I gave a short laugh. "Everett have security markers." I pointed to a corner. "His personal chop should be right here." When I'd first let Chase take it home, Hartley'd sent me a clip of his mom admiring it. In that video the stamp is clearly visible. Hartley even thanked me for it. Producing the clip again, I watched Victoria's color drain. The chat exploded. No one expected the Channings to swap paintings. A blue-chip conglomerate playing that dirty? Comment after comment, if they'll cheat over art, how do they run a company? The sell-off accelerated. Then Victoria's phone rang. Even from where I stood I could hear Channing's roar, "You incompetent, bumbling, the board wants my head, and you're handing back fakes?" Victoria swayed, near collapse. I said, "Even if you faint, the painting gets returned." She raised a trembling finger at me. That was when Chase finally stepped out from behind Mommy. I'd finally clocked that Hartley's a closet mama's boy. Hartley moved closer, eyes wounded. "Hayden, can we talk?" I nodded. "Talk. Could you kill the camera? Afraid to speak with everyone listening? Guilty conscience?" I glanced at the chat, viewers agreed with me. Whatever Hartley had to say, the livestream family deserved to hear it. Chase clenched his jaw. Give me 3 days. 3 days and I'll produce the real painting. I shook my head. This isn't cash you need to raise, it's a canvas. You get 3 hours, tops. Hayden, you never used to be like this. I shrugged. I am now. Hartley tried every sentimental play, I batted them away. Those 3 hours I camped in the lobby. No clue which cousin they'd lent the piece to, didn't look like Grandma had it, so I phoned Everett. Grandpa, I need you here, can you come? Exactly 3 hours later Summer burst in, breathless. She clutched a scroll, tears welled the moment she saw me. Hayden, you didn't have to go this far. Here, take it back. She shoved the canvas at me. The instant I touched it I knew, paperweight was off. Another fake, I said. Impossible, the stamp's right there, she countered, jabbing a manicured nail at it. I sneered. 3 hours is plenty to forge a stamp. She shouted, I know you hate me, but don't ruin us with lies. The chop's there, you're the liar, Hayden. Watching her bluster, I almost pitied her, almost. Chat was split, confused. That was when Tatum walked in with an elderly man on her arm. I hurried over. Grandpa. Summer snapped, bring anyone you like, this is your painting. Everett studied the canvas 2 seconds and barked a laugh. Ridiculous. I never painted garbage like this. I looked at Tatum. Passing off forged art, fraud? At this dollar figure? Oh, we're calling the cops. Summer lunged for Tatum's phone, Chase dove for mine. They moved like they'd rehearsed it. I shielded Everett. The feed cut, chaos on the marble floor. Inside 5 minutes officers arrived, some viewer had already dialed 911. We all ended up at the precinct. Under questioning, Summer admitted her canvas was fake. The original was hanging in her own living room. Why? Because it was a genuine Hartley, and she couldn't bear to part with it. How did she get it? Victoria had first gifted it to her mother-in-law, then swapped in a fake to retrieve the real one. To cinch the West Alliance, she handed the authentic piece to the Wests, double-dipping on one painting. I had to admire the mother-son hustle. Police kept the 3 of them, charging forgery of a cultural relic. If convicted, they're looking at serious time. I walked out with Grandpa's masterwork. Once jail became a real possibility, they started flinging blame like monkeys flinging, well, you get it. I tuned them out. I relaunched my stream, thanked everyone for speaking truth, and logged off. Half a month later the gossip columns filled me in. Chase's father was ousted as chairman, filed for divorce, and moved his illegitimate son into the mansion. Victoria blamed everything on her precious boy. When the divorce papers hit, she trashed the house fighting the mistress, got herself and the family butler booted from the estate. Chase, already on bail for aggravated DUI, earned an extra 15 days in lockup for the forgery caper. Hartley and Summer are awaiting indictment. With the scandal refusing to die, legal bloggers say 6 months minimum. Karma, delivered. I tilt my face to the sky. One toxic romance, pruned. Next time, I'll pick my lovers with far sharper shears. For now, all is right with the world.